Good morning students. In this video session, I would like to express about one of the ecological factor light and then temperature. How these light and temperature shows the influence on the biotic and organisms. We want to discuss. See on the screen here, light is one of the ecological abiotic factor. Already some of the influences regarding light, how the light is influenced the organisms, living things, not only living things, non-living things also. So here photosynthesis, how it will influenced by the light, that already seen previous video. Transpiration and flowering and seed germination and pigmentation and reproductive activities of organisms, and then biological rhythms. These and all previous video we seen. And then movement of organisms. This movement of organisms, last time I explained photokinesis and phototaxis, that either directional or non-directional. Okay, photokinesis means non-directional, phototaxis means directional, that I explained. And then how the light is shows the influence of the metabolic rate. Okay, that also we seen. And then here some of the non-visible light, how you say means which light wavelength lesser than the 380 nanometers, that we called as a non-visible light. That non-visible light we called UV, ultraviolet rays. That ultraviolet rays is some of the effect shows on the organisms, that too bad effect. Okay, some of the that already we seen these ultraviolet rays as one of the causing of the cancers we seen. When the light wavelength below than 380, especially 280 kammi irukna, that will tells about ultraviolet rays as more harmful to the our living organisms. So these are the some of the effects, that effects causing by the light, that effects exhibited by the expressed by the living organisms. Then one of the factor that regarding the light itself, here photoperiodism. Here photo means light, periodism means a time duration. Period, that means a particular time, beginning and ending, that we called as a period. Okay, so photoperiodism nothing but when you take any one organism, how much time that organism will be expressed to the light. Okay, for example, when you take our body will be expressed in the daytime much more time to exposing to the sunlight. Okay, or any one light, especially here sunlight. So here photoperiodism tells about when the one organism exposed to the light sources, that exposing nature we called as a photoperiod. Here see here the duration of the light, which one exposed to the light in a body, our body, how much time duration exposing to the light, that is a period, that time period we called as a photoperiod. By these photoperiod, each and everything will be give the something response to the stimulation. So light is one of the stimulation. So living organism, one of the basic characteristics response are giving to the some of the response to the stimulations. So when our body is shows the photoperiod, automatically our body or organism's body to give the something response. That response we called as a photoperiodism. So photoperiodism, when we discussing time, we want to know about the photoperiod. What is the photoperiod? How much time we are exposing to the light, that is photoperiod, the time duration of exposing of the light sources. And then photoperiodism means by the exposing of the photoperiod, by the exposing of to light, our body or living organism body is giving the something response. That response we called as a photoperiodism. That only here I mentioned the response of the organism for photoperiod. Okay, that response may be several ways, either photosynthesis also one of the part in photoperiodism, how much time the plants are exposing to the sunlight, in that sunlight exposing how much they are receiving, how much they are utilizing, how much they are storage. That here how much means the energy, light energy that we know. Light energy converted into the chemical energy. Already we are already discussed in several chapters, some of the botany wise also. So here photoperiod is tells about a response of the organism to their light. Okay. Then now next one, critical photoperiod. This is also one of the part in photoperiodism. See, what is the critical photoperiod? A specific day length which is the essential for the initiation of the seasonal events. Seasonal events, it is a very most important. That means critical means very essential, very important. What is that importance? Here photoperiod are the exposing of the light. Okay, what it is exposing here? Organism. When the organism exposing to the photoperiod to our light, that will be shows something response. Now here some critical, much necessary some of the light, that light will be giving the initiation of the seasonal events. Nothing but here seen some of the plants are blooming to the in winter season. Some of the flowers are bloom at summer season. Why? The light intensity, the temperature is a gradual variation, gradual changes by the season by season. Okay. Why it is happen seasonal variation? Already in the first video we discussed. When the earth is rotated around the sun, seasonal variation is there. By the rotation of the earth, sun influence only, light and temperature will be shows something variation on the earth atmosphere. Correct only now. So here critical temperature mean a specific day length, a specific day length. So here the same time I will tell one more example. When you see in the light time duration in the summer season, more long time, morning 5 o'clock onwards up to evening 6:30 also something more light is available. But when you coming to the in winter season, from the morning 7 itself, evening 5, that is only daytime, light will be available. So very fastly darkness will be occupying. So here that is the differences between the seasonal variation. So on the seasonal variation time, how that variation will be happen in the environment, by the variation of the seasonal variation, that will be show the influence of the organisms or living things response. Okay, that only here. But here we should be understand one important thing. This critical photoperiod not at the same in the all organisms. That is different in different species. For example, human being wise critical photoperiod is a different, plant wise critical photoperiod is a different. In the organisms itself, some of the mammals, other mammals except human beings, that critical photoperiod time duration is different. So because of they need their own convenient light or temperature. Okay, so here that critical photoperiod time, it is different in the different species. That only I mentioned here. Critical photoperiod is not at the same in the all the species. It is continuously change in the different species. Then now come to the one important note. That means what is the here important note? Sir, within the same species. Here you mentioned the different species. All the species are not at have same critical photoperiod. Okay. In the within the same period, same species, it is a same only na. Within the same species also not at same. Why it is not at same means these, for example, human beings. When you take human beings are located in different places. Some of the people are survival at are leading their life in polar regions. Some of the human beings are equator places. They, when you seen that same species of human being, regarding to the human being, their critical photoperiod is different. Equator places are photoperiod is different, polar regions photoperiod is different. So within the same species also photoperiod is not at the same. Why it will shows the variation? Because of the geographical variations. Geographical variation, it will shows the variation within the same species. Within the same species also it will shows the different critical photo period by the organisms. By why it will show the based on the different latitudes. Different latitudes means we know based on the different latitudes earth will be divided into the 4 different zones. What it is equator and tropical, subtropical and then polar. The places are having the different critical photo period. Okay va? Then next side heading bioluminescence. It is a very most important concept. Okay. When I am start to discuss about these bioluminescence, I will tell about one organism that when you observe our surrounding places, sometimes in the some seasonally, some of the insects is omit the light from the organism's body onwards. Light is omitted. That type of nature only we called bioluminescence. Luminescence means omitting of the light. Light is omitted by generally what we know, sun is a light source, some of the artificial light, tube lights, these and all artificial light sources. But here organism body onwards, it is light is omitted, that we call as a bioluminescence. Light omitted by the organism, that phenomena is called as a bioluminescence. Here that bioluminescence onwards, what it is omitted to light, that light we call as a cold light. Basically, light always is a source of temperature, correct na? Which place onwards light is expressing, that light omitting thing, substance always should be express the temperature. When you hold the tube light or any one thing, that will be having the something heat. When you hold with your hand, you can able to sensible the heat also. But here bioluminescence time, that light is not yet produce any temperature. Okay, heat is not yet producer. It is a cold light. So that's why only when we are childhood, we are all are holding that fireflies. We are playing with the fireplace. When you catch that insects, it is not yet vomiting any. We are not yet sensible anything heat. So here examples. Some of the jellyfish. Jellyfish belongs to Coelenterata. See. Jellyfish belongs to Coelenterata. That Coelenterata, some, not all the Coelenterata animals. Some of the jellyfish belongs to Coelenterata is an example for bioluminescence. Ctenophora. When you 11th standard Ctenophora classification time, we seen Ctenophora organisms are exhibit these bioluminescence. And Chaetopterus. Chaetopterus is a Annelida, belongs to Annelida phylum, that has also omitted the light. And then firefly, these and all Arthropoda phylum. Squids belongs to Mollusca. And Pyrosoma, this is a Urochordata. These several phylums organisms also shows the bioluminescence. Here some of the students are having the one doubt, how that organism is showing the bioluminescence phenomena, how it will exhibited. Here those organisms are having in their body one specific enzyme. See on that pointer. Here luciferase. What enzyme nana? Luciferase. That enzyme play an important role in the oxidation. Here in their body they are having the one special substance that is a luciferin. In the presence of the luciferase enzyme, these luciferin is become converted into the oxyluciferin. Nothing but simply in the chemistry explanation, oxidation of luciferin. These luciferin reacting with oxygen, it will form the oxyluciferin. Now these oxyluciferin chemical, along with these chemical, they are omit the light. That is a bioluminescence. Okay na? Then now come to the another topic, another side heading. Here on yesterday we discussed about the photosynthesis. Photosynthetic light, it is nothing but a visible light. So visible light, how you say that is a visible light? VIBGR. VIBGR shows the visible light. That VIBGR light wavelength from the greater than 380 nanometers to 760 nanometers. Okay, that light we call as a visible light. These visible light utilizing by the plant. So here I will be recall one of the physiological activity of the plants. In photosynthesis mechanism we see in the thylakoids membrane having the two important places, that is a PS1, PS2. That PS1, PS2 that places are having the 700 and 680 and 700, correct na? 600 nanometers and 700 nanometers. That light will be utilizing in the photosynthesis. Along with that LHS, light harvesting complex, that will be receiving the something low wavelength light, it will be giving the promote the or giving the promote the photosynthesis. Okay, then now in this why I said these and all mean in the photosynthesis process how much light is utilizing by the plants, that we should be remember. Here for example from the sun sources onwards, sun light sources onwards, it is releasing from the sun after some of the light only will reach the earth surface area. How much light is reach the earth surface area, if you take it, that is 100%, in that 12% only reflected back. When the light is placed on the earth surface, the 12% of the light will reflect, again it will be enter into the atmosphere, and then 5% only transmitted through the leaf. That means the total light of the sun sources, that means not yet omitted from the light sources. Okay, not yet omitted from I am not telling about the total of the sunlight, how much sunlight is reach the earth, that regarding that one only I am discussing. Okay, from that sun reached light onwards. Okay, sunlight, how much sunlight is reached the earth surface, from that onwards here 12% is reflected and 5% is only placed on the leaf surfaces. 5% is only placed on the leaf surfaces. Then in that leaf surfaces placed light onwards, leaf will be utilizing only 1 to 4. That means photosynthesis fixation time they are utilizing only 1 to 4% only. Remaining everything will be unused. In that 12% is reflected and then 79% is lost in the form of the heat. So how much percentage of the sunlight is reach the earth surface, from that light onwards just plants will be utilizing only 1 to 4%. But plants surface how much light is placed, 5%. Okay, so total maximum volume of the temperature, maximum percentage of the temperature lost in the form of the heat. Okay, this is the some of the information about photosynthesis. Okay, that tells about very less light only utilizing in the photosynthesis, that is only giving the survivable chances for the plant dependent organisms, either directly or indirectly all organisms are depends upon the maximum photosynthesis activities. Okay, that is about visible light. Then come to the next one, light zonal in the deep lake. Okay, basing on the light penetration in the lake water or oceans. When you take any big oceans or a lake, the light is penetrated to the up to what depth, that is light zonation zones. I mean we are the partitions of the deep lakes and oceans based on the light presence, whether light is present or how much light is penetrated, how much light is available in that sources, in that places, and then whether light is present or not. Based on that, either lakes and oceans they are classified into the three zones. One is a littoral zone, another one is a limeritic zone, Next one, benthic zone. Littoral zone, it is the coastal place. That means which place of the water body very near to the bank, that is called littoral. That place having the abundant of the light penetration. That means when the light is placed on the water body, the light will be enter the water. In the time reflection, that light will be turned the something angle. Correct? We know in the physics we discussed. Okay, whatever. By the littoral zone, all the light is much abundant of light is available in the littoral zone because of it is a coastal place. And then next, limnatic zone. Next place. Okay, limnatic zone. That limnatic zone again divided into the three categories: euphytic, euphotic. Eu means real. Okay, or photic zone. Photic zone. In this place of the second zone, limnatic also, light will be easily enter. Okay, which place easily can enter the light in the limnatic zone? Such a place, such a zone we called as a euphotic, real light, or photopic as a photic zone. Okay, then below the euphotic, dysphotic. In this place, not at much light availability because of it is present in somewhat of a deep level. So light can't goes very more quantity or very that mean which is the light having the long wavelength which can able to penetrate in the long distance. Such a type of light only will be reach the in this place. All light can't able to reach in this place. Dysphotic, very little quantity or little wavelength containing light only will be present in dysphotic. That here one thing we should be remember: euphotic and dysphotic zones in between one imaginary line. That imaginary line is a compensation point. Compensation point. Above the compensation line or compensation point, photic zone or euphotic zone. Below that, that is a dysphotic zone. Up to here maximum light will be penetrated, but here not all the light is not yet penetrated in this place. Then come to the aphotic zone. A means tells without. Already several times we discuss acylomate. Okay, asymmetry. Symmetry is absent, or acylomate. Coelom is absent. As like photic means light, A means no light. Light is not yet present. So that only we call as a profundal zone. That will be under the dysphotic zone. Then next one, benthic. This benthic zone present bottom of the water body. Okay, based on these light penetration in the water bodies, we can able to suspect what type of biotic organisms are present in the different zones. Littoral zone, we can say vegetation is very more, plants are very more. I mean aquatic plants can able to grow. So direct plant dependent organisms are present in littoral zone. And limnatic zone time, it is a which plants are can able to sufficient in the little light sources. Such a type of plants are present in this place. Okay, and then slowly when you going to the littoral zone to and benthic zone, vegetation will be very less. And but organisms are very more. Organisms are for food purpose, they are dependent above zones. Above zones means benthic zones, some of the fishes, some of the biggest organisms are there. That organisms are taking the food from the topper layers. Because of top places, littoral zone, limnatic zones are having a lot of abundant light sources. By the light sources, photosynthetic plants can able to grow, aquatic photosynthetic plants. So that by the directly or indirectly, the organisms will get the food items from these above zones. So this totally tells about by the light intensity, we can able to partitions or converted into the zones in deep lakes and then oceans. Okay, then next continuation. Up to now what we discussed on light, how it will shows the effect of different organisms and some of the water bodies. Then I will continue with temperature. Temperature is one of the abiotic factor. Temperature is one of the abiotic factor. That abiotic factors, how it will be promote or stimulate the or influence the lifestyle of the living organisms and some of the non-living substances also. Okay. Then here that only we are already discussed. Okay. Then come with the temperature. What is the temperature? Temperature is a measurement of or measure of the intensity of heat. Heat we can able to measure in the form of the temperature. Our body temperature means our body heat, how much. Okay. Present corona, they are find out the thermometer. By the thermometer they can find out our body temperature. Now come to the next point. Temperature on the land and water, it is not at uniform. It is a very most important thing. Here two different places. One is a water body, another one is a